The J. Michaels Show.
Welcome to another episode of the J. Michaels Show. Hey, I'd like to take a moment to ask you, if you enjoy these episodes, if you enjoy our programs, please hit that subscribe button, the notification button, all the buttons, and subscribe and give us a little bit of some comments maybe if you want to. We'd love to hear from you, and we would love to have you subscribe. It doesn't matter if it's just audio you're listening to, or if you're on YouTube with the video, or on Substack. Any of those, hit those buttons and support the show. We really appreciate it. My guest today is Lola Kinsey. She's from Wylie, Texas, and we're going to say hello to Lola and get going. Hello, Lola.
Hi.
Hey, I love your hair.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Wylie, Texas, you're 19 years old. Tell me about living in Wylie. You like it there?
Oh yeah, I love it here. Although it's kind of like small and there's not like a whole bunch to do, it's very fun with whatever you can. Just going to the downtown area and looking at some of the shops, it's fun.
Well, I noticed one thing. I found you on Instagram, and I noticed one thing that's a little different about you and your music is you do a lot of dress up. You wear costumes. So tell me describe your kind of music and your type of songwriting.
Well, my music is kind of like alt pop rock. It's kind of all over the place. I originated at classic rock, and so my very first song, Pack It Up, is kind of like a country rock, kind of like a Stevie Nicks type of vibe. And then I kind of just started, going off towards more of like a Pat Benatar feeling with pop rock. And so I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I love to dress up. I love doing crazy hair, putting crazy hats on, and doing just everything crazy and just practicing dances to get ready for performances. I love it so much, though. I love dressing up. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do, except I don't know how long it's going to take to get this hair down.
Well, is that like teased hair? What did you do to get it that way?
Yeah, I teased it. At first I curled it and then I put hairspray and I teased it and hairsprayed it again. So it's going to be extra hard to get out.
Oh my goodness. So were you nervous a little bit about having an interview on a show like this?
Oh yes, I'm nervous all the time. I tend to stutter or I'll talk too much. So I definitely get nervous about interviews. It's just like, ooh, I need to say this or I need to say that, or, just getting ready just to get questioned. It's fun, but it's nerve-wracking.
Well, on this show, we actually encourage the guests to ramble. So you talk as long as you want to about whatever. But we'll ask you some questions and see what your answers are.
Awesome.
So classic rock. What do you define as a 19-year-old as classic rock?
Oh gosh. I'm not exactly sure how I would define classic rock other than it's kind of like an old soul type of music. It's like that, I guess I wouldn't say too country, but it's kind of like a folk rock kind of initiative in my opinion. I think it's kind of like country rock, but not country rock. It's a really hard question. Oh gosh, I'd say it's kind of like, wow, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's like an 80s type of rock. It's like an old style rock, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I'm an old guy. Classic rock to me is the 70s, but I noticed that not only that, you also do like covers of Cher and others from the 80s. Do you like doing cover songs?
Oh yes, that's like my main thing. I mostly do cover songs, and so being a new artist, I just now started coming out with new songs. But as for now, to get out there and to put my music out there and like to show people like my style and like my look, I kind of go off of songs based off of it.
Yeah. How many original songs do you have?
I'd say I've got like a whole bunch, maybe like 200, but out right now, I've got 3. I've only got 3 released so far, but like, in the books, I've got a whole bunch.
That is an incredible portfolio if you've got 200 songs. Is it easy for you to write a song?
It's pretty easy for me to write a song. Yeah, I'd say I get very inspired easily. And so, like, if someone's tying their shoe, I'll write a song about, someone tying their shoe and just kind of like turn it into like a whole story. And, like, obviously not a song about a shoe, but, I'll just kind of make
Yeah.
it into something, crazy and fun and just, like something you wouldn't think about, but you would think about.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're easily inspired by various things that you just see in your environment. Um, is that something that comes natural for you?
I'd say it's pretty natural, though I do get some help sometimes with my mom because sometimes I'll just ramble so much it doesn't really make sense and it's just a book of a whole bunch of words and feelings. And so my mom will go in there and like kind of edit some of them and be like, okay, this makes no sense at all, so let me fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, a lot of music that we have today is literally ooh baby, and that's it. It doesn't have it doesn't have any context to it. So that's important to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, do you play any musical instruments?
Unfortunately, I don't yet. I am practicing to play guitar. I
Mm-hmm.
only know basic chords, and I'm still struggling to sing and play at the exact same time. But that's also because most of my time goes towards content, and most of my time goes toward, producing my next song because I do it all at home. Although I will say I did do one of my songs with my producer, my one and only producer, Joe. And so I've been doing a lot of work with him in Dallas, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's very fun. We go to Campbell Crossing Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard of Haven
Mm-hmm.
because I think you did an interview with her. I did a song there too. So me and her know each other, and we go to that same place. And so we've been doing music for a while. And so my first song, "Pack It Up," was produced with them, and
Wow.
it was amazing. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Okay, so I actually didn't know that you knew Haven, but yeah,
Yeah.
she was my guest last week, and she was incredible, very incredible. In fact, we tried to have her play and sing a song on the
Oh
show,
yeah.
but it doesn't work out well on Zoom. But
Yeah.
be that as it may, so do you when you go into the recording studio, do you have a band that backs you up?
I don't have a band, no. Me and my parents usually kind of come up with everything at home and then we bring it to the producer because we can't really play. So we'll just like, do like sounds with our mouths or like, I'd go to memos on my phone
Uh-huh.
or notes and I kind of just record what I kind of want it to sound like and then give it to them and then they actually bring it to life.
Wow. Okay. Because I noticed there is a drum set behind you. Is that yours?
That's my dad's. My dad plays drums and he was in a band. I don't even know how long ago. He was in multiple bands. He was in a country band, he was in a rock band. So he plays for me sometimes at my performances. And so we've got that. And we had like two other ones, like two acoustic drums, but we gave them away because he didn't play them much. And
Hmm.
so we have this one in the back and we can also use it in our productions. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So does he play other instruments on your tracks?
He does everything digitally. He does all the music digitally. And
Hmm.
then we'll take it to the producer and they'll make it like, I guess, sound more like alive and more realistic. But yeah, he does them all digitally. He only knows how to play drums though, like real time.
Okay. So do you use like backtracks to sing to, like karaoke?
Oh
When you,
yeah.
yeah, you produce that
Yeah.
way?
Yes, that's how, like with my originals, I sing with the backing tracks because I don't have a band yet, and I'm hoping to get one soon in the future, maybe. And so until then, I'm probably going to be singing with a backtrack.
So tell me again about your costumes. I mean, you really dress up to perform, and I think that's very unique. Talk to me about some of the costumes that you wear and what look are you going for?
Oh gosh, well, I usually go for an 80s kind of look, as you can tell with the hair, like some type of crazy stuff, because I'm
Mm,
trying to bring back a little bit of like the 80s and like modern day music, and I'm trying to like kind of squish them together. I love wearing sparkly outfits, anything sparkly, anything that's like bright colors, like this shirt I'm wearing right now is like bright red. I just love wearing bright and sparkly outfits because I feel like it can grab the most attention and it looks the most unique.
mhm.
Because sometimes, I guess sometimes people think like, oh, I've got an amazing voice, I don't have to dress that, crazy because my voice is just, great. But I feel like in order to put on that full show, you need to have like full on outfit, crazy hair, crazy, just everything crazy, crazy makeup, and, just get ready and dance, be yourself, and you just kind of, grab people's attention that way by just being yourself and being crazy.
Yeah. Is there any particular artist that you idolize, maybe that does that?
Yes, I'm obsessed with Pat Benatar right now, and I also love Cher, so
Hmm.
those two are huge for me.
Wow. Okay. All right. So pack it up. Well, that's your latest release. Tell me about writing that song and where it came from.
Well, that song, well, okay. Overall, Pack It Up is about me, I guess, coming of age and realizing that life is much harder when you're growing older, and just the responsibilities you have to take on are a lot harder. And so it basically started with me and my parents were having a fight, and I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna pack it up and I'm gonna just leave. And so I kind of just wrote a song about, like the struggles of leaving and like growing up. The album is called Come of Age, so it kind of like it just explains the whole thing of coming of age and like having these new responsibilities and, tasks you need to take on.
Right. Tell me about your album and Come of Age and all the different songs on it.
Well, so far I've only got 3 songs out. Well, my third song, Your Parents Don't Like Me, is coming out April 18th,
Hmm.
so in about 2-ish weeks. But I've got Pack It Up, I've got Hold It Against Me, and I've got Your Parents Don't Like Me. I'd say Hold It Against Me is more of a situation where me and my boyfriend were fighting, and my mom decided to she decided to come in and say, "Oh my gosh, get a room." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, he's mean. Like he's making me mad. No." And so it was kind of funny, and me and my mom wrote this song together, but it's basically like you can take it 2 different ways. You can take it as you always hold it against me, like, it's like, hold it against me, you always do that, or it can be taken as like a more romantical way, like hold it against me. So
Uh,
it's goofy. And then Your Parents Don't Like Me is about a story between me and my boyfriend's parents. Overall, they just haven't liked me, and I never really knew why. They do love his ex-girlfriend though, and so I've had problems with that situation. And while I was on vacation, they decided to invite the ex over while I was 3 hours away.
uh-huh.
And so I wouldn't say I've done anything to really upset them ever. I've kind of just held my tongue and like, always been kind. And then this song just, I just had enough. I was like, you know what? I'm putting the song out. Your parents don't like me, because that's how I see it. It's just, they have something against me or whatever. I don't care. I'm fine with it. And so instead of using anger, I just use my emotions to put out a song. And,
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people relate to it too. So.
Yeah. So who is your target audience? Are you kind of maybe trying to target teenagers?
Yeah, I'm kind of targeting, I guess, teenagers and also like folks who listen to 80s music, just kind of a mix of just everybody, kind of like people who enjoy Chapel Roan. That's a whole bunch of teens, and then also Pat Benatar with the pop versions of it as well in the 80s to kind of, I guess, like lick to it. I'm also reaching out to multiple different areas at once.
So do you or are you a Lady Gaga fan?
Oh yes, I love Lady Gaga. I was just listening to her new album Mayhem while I was getting ready.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, with the costumes and everything, it kind of looks like you're going for that style or that look.
Yeah, I love her. So yes.
Okay. All right. And so your mom, you've mentioned your mom, your dad several times. Are they a huge influence on you and your music?
Yes, they are definitely a huge influence on my music because I mean, everyone goes through problems in their life, and so I feel like it's most important that people know that other people go through problems as well and don't think it's just themselves. And so they really help me push my music out. Also, they're just an amazing support group. Like they support me with everything and help me to like really get to my goal of being a singer. But yeah, as of now, they're definitely my muse because, it's easy to write songs about stuff you're going through and people you lived with your whole life,
Uh-huh.
and also just, yeah, oh my God, I'm yapping so much, but
That's
yeah,
fine.
they're very supportive and they're definitely a muse to my music as well.
Is there locations near you that you love to play, or venues that you play a lot?
Yes, I've just recently, I just say just recently, meaning like December of last year, started doing gigs my very first time. And so I've been going to McCall Plaza a lot in Plano, along with Voodoo Brewing. Those two I've been to around four times each. I've played for both of them four times aroundish. And so I'll be playing for Voodoo Brewing again soon. I'm not sure which day. We're still communicating about it, but yeah, those would be my favorite because McCall Plaza is an outside stage. It's really nice. It's got lights and it's kind of like it's in like a little downtown area in Plano where
Hmm.
there's like shops and ice cream places, and then there's a stage where you can sing, and so people walking by can just stop by and listen, and it's really nice. And then Voodoo Brewing is an amazing place. I've played there multiple times, and I love the environment. It's family friendly, so anyone can go to it. They've got games in the corner, so you can just grab like a board game and start playing, but it's really amazing.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And so when did you mentioned it's recent? When did you start doing actual gigs?
I'd say around December, I actually started taking gigs. Oh my gosh, yeah, around December was my very first time, and it was terrifying because I'd never done a gig before, and I had like gigs, like gig after gig after gig after gig. It was like I probably had like seven gigs in December, and it was crazy. I was freaking out. I was, I guess anxious. It was chaotic,
Uh-huh.
but it was so much fun though. It was such a learning experience and it was worth it 100% because it got me to start playing at these places a lot more often, like Voodoo and McCall Plaza. So I'm very thankful.
Do you actively promote trying to get gigs, or are you often just asked to come and play?
I have to promote myself a lot. Obviously, I'm still a new artist and I'm still small, so not a lot of people know who I am.
Hmm.
I try to give my, business cards out to some people in the, Walmart or places I'm at, but my mom helps me. She works for commercial advertising, so she knows a lot of people that she can, like talk to and ask for help about communicating to places where I can play and like promoting myself.
Uh-huh. So recording, do you mentioned that studio in Dallas, but do you also record at home?
Yes, I record at home. My two newest songs, Hold It Against Me and Your Parents Don't Like Me, were recorded at home.
Okay. And what about like making music videos? Do you do those? And if so, do you enjoy doing that?
I haven't made a music video yet, though I have. I have with my mom made some lyric videos, like the goofy ones with pictures in the backgrounds, and my mom tends to work on those because she likes being the creative one in that part. She makes a whole story with some random pictures she'll get off of the internet, and it's laughable, it's goofy, but this Your Parents Don't Like Me, I'll be making a music video next week, actually. I'm not sure when it'll be released, but I'm making it next week, my music video for the first time.
Well, give us a little preview. What's the theme of my mom, Your Mom Doesn't Like Me?
Well, basically, I'm gonna have either my boyfriend or some actor. We're not sure yet still because we haven't asked his parents if he can be in the video, so it's like, yikes. We're gonna have someone and then me, and they're basically gonna be like, I guess, like playing a guitar, and I'm gonna be kind of going around in circles, kind of like around the house, and then we're gonna do a little skip part, which I won't say yet because it's gonna be funny. But we're gonna do a little skit as well. It's gonna be really funny, and hopefully his parents laugh about it Not sure, but yeah, we're just gonna do like I'm gonna drive around the neighborhood and like take videos in the car and just around the house and kind of do like stuff like you would imagine would happen in the song Your Parents Don't Like Me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, it sounds almost like you've storyboarded the idea. So have you like put down on paper exactly what you want it to look like?
Hex no. It's kind of just like it just kind of comes out of my brain and then we'll just figure that out. My mom has most of it like like figured out, but for the most part for me, no. I don't write this stuff down.
Okay. Well, when you travel to these gigs, do you have a lot of equipment or lights or anything like that? Or just a singer-songwriter without instruments, I'm sure you don't carry those. But what all do you take with you to set up for a gig?
Well, places nearby, I usually just bring my like speaker and my microphone with me, and then I'll also bring like a set of these like I think it's 2-in-1 lights, and it kind of just like goes straight to you. It's like stage lights basically, but I only really take those and like a whole bunch of wires in case something breaks. I bring a backpack with everything I need in it, and so I really just take a speaker and my microphone. But whenever I have gigs like in Austin, like I had my first gig at South by Southwest, I think a few weeks ago. I didn't have to bring anything because it was all just there. I didn't have a band or anything, so I didn't have to worry about packing drums and stuff like that. So it was
Yeah.
pretty easy. But other than that, yeah, we just take a speaker and a microphone and kind of just go with the flow with that.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your experience with performing at South by Southwest.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I got to see so many like awesome artists, like people from different countries, and it was insane. They were like from England, from like China, all these places, Belgium. I was like, what in the world? It was amazing though. And so my experience there was absolutely amazing. I got to meet so many people. I got to like learn so many like different things about music. It was amazing. It was like a whole event for like artists. And so I got to meet a lot of people and it was amazing. And then my performance was at, the Empire in Austin. And so it was my first time there. It was terrifying as well because I was like, oh my God, there's so many people. And also there was a wrestling match right next to to the place I was going to. So me and my mom saw this entire like super long line. I was like, there's no way they're there for me. I was like, no way. My mom's like, holy crap, that's so many people. And then we got to like the place that I was performing at, and there was like a few people in line. We're like, what? It was so confused. It was funny though. They were all there to watch this wrestling match, which was right next to the building that I was singing. I was like, I didn't even know that was happening. Wow. But it was amazing. The place was beautiful. It had like a disco ball inside, and it had like leaves everywhere. It was awesome.
Wow. Wow. What is the largest audience you've performed in front of?
Oh gosh. Holy crap. I can't, honestly, I have no idea. I'd probably say maybe around like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think because I've performed at a lot of places. So I'm trying to think like what the audience would have looked like at those specific places. I'd say maybe like 100, 200 at this one place only because it was a festival. So like a whole bunch of people would walk by and just watch and stuff. So I'd probably say around that much.
Wow. Okay. And of course, you started at a very young age doing this singing. And when did you decide, okay, this is what I want to do? I want to be a musician, artist, singer, songwriter.
Oh, I'd say maybe around last year, I figured that I really wanted to be a musician, though I didn't really know how. And so I had already gotten the karaoke part done of like, like knowing how to perform, knowing how to sing karaoke and practice, but I wasn't really sure of how I'd write songs. And all the songs I'd written in the past were like, honestly, just drama sessions of my life. And so I never really knew how to like put them together and make a song out of it because I'd go from a song to another song to another song and I'd never finish it. Mm-hmm. So at some point my mom was telling me that I just need to, like put one song at a time and do one song and not 7 different songs all at once and never finishing one of them. So I'd say around last year or this year, I really started putting songs out and actually like, started being serious with this career.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And well, tell me about your upbringing. Tell me about your influences as you were growing up that made you want to do this.
Well, I've kind of wanted to be a singer since I was like teeny, but I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't know it was something I wanted to do. I just loved singing all the time. I'd sing in the shower, the car, outside. I would sing while I was on my bike and people would look at me weird and I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool. But I don't know. I mean, well, it started, I guess, freshman year of high school when my parents realized I could actually sing. And so I was in this little play called All Together Now, freshman year of high school. And so I auditioned. I wasn't in theater, I wasn't in choir. I was just like, I like to sing, might as well try it out. And so I did. And nobody thought I would make it into, like, I'd make it in the little play, but I did. And I got the main part for the All Together Now play. And so whenever I came out, my whole family was there. And so, me and my duet were singing, and my parents were like, wow, she can actually sing. And they're like, okay, so maybe, this could be a thing. Maybe she could sing. But I mean, my whole life, I've kind of been like a jack of all trades. So I've done like so many things. I've done like sports, gymnastics, singing, cooking, like all this random stuff. And then it's like I always knew in my heart that I like wanted to sing, but like, I didn't know it was possible until my parents told me freshman year. So I didn't really do too much for music during high school because I had so much going on. I had, like theater, choir, schoolwork, like chores at home. I had lots to do though.
Wow. So, what are your goals? Where do you want to end up, say, in 5 years?
Well, I'm hoping to play at ACL. That's where I got to watch Chapel Roan. And so I thought that was an amazing experience. And I want to play at a big stage where a whole bunch of people can just, like vibe to your music and have fun, eat snacks. And so I'm hoping to get, I wouldn't say I want to be like Chapel Roan, like where she's at right now. But I want to be at least like known or at least be able to make a career out of music.
What is the music scene in Wylie like? Is there a lot of venues to play there?
There's not a whole lot. It's mostly just like bars or that like very few like outside venues. There's not a whole bunch, but it's typically bars that you'd play at. That's all that I've played at so far. I have no idea of any other ones, but I wouldn't say there's many, but I will say in Austin, it's like that's where to go. Like for artists, you want to be there because there's a whole bunch of venues, a whole bunch of artists, like artists from everywhere, just, going to different places. Like every restaurant there has someone singing.
Yeah. Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you planning to or are prepared to start touring?
I'm hoping I can tour soon. I need an album out though first, and so while putting my songs out, I'm hoping to be able to open for people and then gradually start touring and going around, I guess. I wouldn't say the world, but like around, Texas, and then just start, expanding from there.
Yeah. Do you plan on putting out a physical, like a vinyl or CD, or do you just want to have download and streamable music?
I really want a vinyl. I love vinyls, so I'm not sure when I will have a vinyl, but I want to have vinyls for sure.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to have a vinyl with my face on it and just have people play it.
Yeah, definitely want that tactile experience of holding it in your hands and saying, "This is my album." This is it.
Yes, and
So,
like I did it.
yeah, I know that CDs and vinyl and all seems to be something that's in the past, but it's all coming back, and I think it's because of that. People want to actually physically have that music in their hands. How do you
Yeah.
feel about your having something to give to your fans to autograph to just in general? Tell me, how do you feel about your fans?
Oh, I love my fans. They're amazing. I love them so much and they're so supportive. And I personally went out to my, I guess, my biggest fan, and I went out and got her a shirt. I signed a poster. I just got a whole bunch out there for her, and I'm actually about to ship out a poster to another fan that just asked me to online, and I was like, yeah, of course. I love giving out just anything to my fans and just people who support me.
Are your fans primarily local, or do you have, because you're on the internet, do you have fans worldwide?
Well, I have few worldwide, but most of them are around Rockwall, Plano, Wylie, Greenville. And then I've got I don't know, maybe 20 in England. It's just really random. I don't even know how that happened, but yeah, it's just random places around the world, but mostly Texas, a whole bunch of Texas.
Yeah, yeah. So anywhere else in the United States, do you think that you might end up there? I mean, maybe even move and live somewhere else.
Austin.
Yeah.
Austin. I don't know. Just Austin just seems like the place any artist would want to go to. After being there, I've been there multiple times on vacations, but never for music. And so I've never been to those places where a whole bunch of artists would go to because I never thought it was a thing there. And so when South by Southwest introduced that to me, I was like, wow, I need to be here. What I'm missing out. This is where I need to be. So
Yeah.
I definitely say Austin.
Yeah. Okay. And what are you doing to promote yourself? How are you promoting yourself?
I mostly promote myself on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I kind of just push myself out there as much as I can. I'll try and post a video 2 times a day or 2 times every other day. And so that's kind of how I I guess, promote myself to different regions of places, because I'll also tag United States. So everyone in the United States that has TikTok will most likely see this video. And so that's kind of what I do. I just do a whole bunch of content. I go many places. I just hand out business cards. I'll just do whatever I can to promote myself.
Wow. Okay. Well, it sounds like you're definitely on the road to success. How would you define success?
For me, success with music would just be able to live off of making music. I think that's I don't really care much for the fame of it. I just want people to know that, I understand them and that they can understand me as well. And then just to be able to make a living off of my, music career.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Tell me a little bit more about how you're putting this album together and how you select songs. If you've got a portfolio of 200 songs, that you got to narrow that down. So how are you going about doing that?
Well, because the album is called, or I guess named, Coming of Age, I want to choose songs that people can relate to the most with, coming from a teenager to an adult. So those are mostly what I'm basing it off of, and just relatable experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So some songs can just I have a song called White Haired Woman, and it's it has no, it's not related to coming of age at all, but it's there. And so it's just songs like that wouldn't be on an album called Come of Age, because it just doesn't make sense, And so I'm just trying to pick and choose songs that people can relate to, growing up, and also maybe they're graduating high school, they're wow, I'm coming of age. And so just something like that I'll try and add to the album and pick and choose from those. But any random song I have, I'm probably not gonna add it. I'll probably save it for another album in the future, but as of now I'm picking carefully. So
Yeah. So of all the songs you've written, have you already started mapping out what your next album will be?
So far I have not mapped out what my next album is, because I'm still working on multiple songs to produce and learn what I'm gonna do with those, production wise, what I'm gonna do singing wise. And so I haven't really done much for the next album, but I am working on this one.
Is it expensive producing an album?
Oh my gosh, yes, it's ridiculous. That's why I started doing it at home instead of in a studio. It's really crazy how expensive it can be to be an artist,
Right.
Alone. And so luckily we have some of the resources and we're working on it, and sometimes we'll pay a producer to just, mix and master it real quick and then we'll put it out, which is still expensive on its own, but it's not nearly as expensive as trying to like, go to a studio and have them do everything for you. And it'd be like $700, $800 for one song.
Right. Do you use auto-tune, or are you just natural? You want it to be natural?
Whenever I put my songs out, I mostly want it to be natural, though sometimes whenever I'm suggested it would sound better if it has like reverb or something else, I'll, trust their instincts and let them do whatever they think is best for the song.
Who is your producer?
Joe Phillips from Camel Crossing.
Mm-hmm. And so how has he helped you?
He's helped me so much. He's put a lot of his own creativity into my songs as well. He's an amazing pianist. I mean, amazing. And so he'll help me with harmony ideas and he'll just put the whole song together because, again, I don't play any instruments. I just know what I want it to sound like. And so he really brought Pack It Up to life. And I love that song so much, along with Mike Manning, the guitarist at Camel Crossing. Amazing guitarist as well. They did amazing on my song and I love it.
Yeah. You have said, I'm way more of a songwriter than a musician. Define that for me.
I'm way better at storytelling and writing songs than I am at, like, I guess, composing the music. I can't, like, really have an idea unless I have, like, the entire, like, song written down. Because I won't know where to go with the song if I don't know how I'm feeling with it, you know? And so I mostly focus on lyrics first, getting the lyrics and like the feeling of the song done first. And then I'll kind of like go in my notes and do like a memos of how I want it to sound. And then from there, like I'm not as amazing at, making the music around it. That's where I have help with my family and the producers and just everyone.
Yeah. So just a quick question for you personally. How would you describe Lola? Who is Lola? Tell me who you are.
Lola is a sassy diva who likes to write songs about her life and just, things that are relatable and lots of drama, because everyone in their life has had drama before. And so it's very relatable. It's very fun to talk about. People have ears open whenever there's drama all the time. And so I think it's just, Lola's a fun person. She's very creative, very autistic, and I don't know if I just sound like I said autistic or artistic, so let me re-say that. Lola's very artistic, and she's very colorful and bright and fun. So yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. You said autistic, and I thought, okay,
yeah, I was like,
maybe you are. Do you have any phobias or anything like that?
No, not really. I don't really have any phobias. But yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, did I just say autistic instead of artistic? I think I stumbled over my words. So
yeah. Okay. All right. So the name of the EP again was Coming of Age, right? You have 3 songs on it. And you picked those three songs yourself. You wrote them all. Are you intending to add more to it at some point?
oh yes, absolutely. I'm planning on adding, like, until it gets around like 5 or 7 songs, I'm planning on adding more because I want to be able to like put it into an album, I guess, rather than an EP, even though EP is the best option to have. But I'd like to say, oh, it's my first album, EP, but it's not an album, but I'm definitely going to add more songs, and then hopefully by that point I can open for people and their bands and stuff, and then get more out there and like reach new crowds of people.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of reaching new crowds, do you have gigs lined up for this year?
This year, oh my gosh, I have no idea. I know I have gigs lined up so far for this month, and so usually every like month I'll know near the beginning of the month how many gigs I'll have all together. I think this month I've probably, like, because it's the beginning of April, I've probably got around 6 or 7 just for this month. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. Yeah. But yeah, I know usually around the beginning of the month, like how many gigs I'll have.
Do you like staying busy? Do you like keeping busy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love staying busy because, it's just, it keeps me like having something to do instead of just, like sitting at home writing songs and like, okay, like now what do I do? Because when you run out of like inspiration and like brain juice, it's like, what do I do? You know, like I'm just sitting here with a blank page and I don't know what to write yet. And so, yeah, I love being busy. I love having gigs because I get to like, I guess, see more people around me, like just, just smile and like vibe to the music I'm singing. It's so much fun.
What is a typical day for you like? What do you do? What do you enjoy doing? Do you have hobbies?
Well, I have a few hobbies. I mostly just write songs and I kind of just, like I'll mostly just write songs and start, working on music. Me and my parents, like usually around the beginning of the month, start working on the next song and then hopefully get it out by the end of the month because we want to have this thing where we put a song out every single month.
Right.
So it kind of, like keeps the process going instead of like having a huge break and then releasing another song. So we've been trying to do that. And so I've been very busy, like, working on the next song. And then, by the end of the month, I've got another song I need to work on. So it's like never ending.
Yeah.
But before, I guess, this, never ending job, before my hobby was going roller skating, I just loved doing it when I was like, I was probably roller skating every single Saturday since I was like 5 up till, I guess, senior year of high school because just the environment, the music, you get to dance, you get to roller skate, you get to fall and then get back up and keep going in circles. It's ridiculous. Like you don't need to go in circles, but you do over and over again and it's fun. So
Well, you are definitely building momentum, and I think that's awesome. That just watching you and your career grow. Again, where would someone be able to find your EP and download it?
oh, they can find it anywhere. I'm on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music. I'm on like everything. You can find my music anywhere.
Do you think one day you'll not go by your actual name, but have a sort of a stage name that, or have you thought of that?
I've thought about it. I just don't know what my name would be. It's like such a hard. I know how like all these people like Lady Gaga, Chappell Roan. It's like, how do you come up with such a like powerful name like that? I don't know how to do that. Like all
Yeah,
that I know for now is Lola Kinsey. So
yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I've definitely thought about it, and maybe in the future, not for sure, but maybe somewhere in the future, I might do it. But as for now, I'm just gonna stick with the easiest option, which is just my name, and because that's how I want to be known is by myself. So
Yeah, when I started the show, a couple of famous producers that I know kept telling me, "Make sure you put your name in the show. Make sure you put your name in the show." And so I was like, "Okay, well, there we go. I'll just make
yeah.
the show my name." So that works too. Yeah, I understand that. Um, We will definitely put links under the video to your Instagram and your website and your YouTube and where people can find your music. Is there anything that you would like to say to your new fans who will discover you through this show, or your current fans that you would like to say to the people out there about your music and what it means to have them hear you?
Well, my music is a very personal thing to me. I really love putting out, like, I wouldn't say I love letting people know about my emotions, but like in a music form, I do. But I'd say that I'm very grateful for those who listen to my music and who support me and, have, like, know how to, I guess, truly understand a song and also realize that, more people understand than you think. And so I'm very proud and supportive of my fans, and I'm glad they're there for me as well. And so, yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I wouldn't be here without them, so I wouldn't be anywhere where I'm at right now without any of them.
Right.
So they're very important.
Well, would you describe yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh gosh, I'd say I'm definitely an introvert. I guess when I'm not doing gigs and stuff, I'd say I'm more introvert than I am extrovert. Though whenever I do have gigs, I'm a super extrovert because I need to be as, I guess, wild, crazy, talkative as I can be. Because whenever you're in those moments and you're dressed up, it's like you need to talk to as many people as possible and like, gain as many supporters and fans as you can. But then, while I'm at home and stuff and, walking around, I guess, stores, grocery stores, wherever, the mall, I'll try and like, run by at least like 20 people, give them my business card, and then, kind of go on with my day. But yeah, for the most part, outside of gigs, I'd say I'm more introvert. And then when it's gigs, I have to be an extrovert. I have to be the most I can be.
Yeah. I was reading in your bio that you have Tourette's. How do you deal with that and being on stage, and does it bother you?
Well, when I was, I guess, younger, I had more of a severe case of Tourette's. And so I kind of just like blink a lot. I'd make, like super wide mouth faces, like stretch a lot. And so it was definitely harder when I was younger. I kind of grew out of it, except the only thing I'd say now that I have is like kind of a blinking thing where I'll blink a lot or I'll like, blink super hard and stuff. I don't know why, but it's not terrible. I'd say usually, like, at least I don't realize that I'm doing it when I'm singing, but it could happen. But it's not something I really struggle with or anything. And if it happens, it happens. I'm just blinking hard and, that's what happens, I guess. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me though at all. I'll have my mom be like, "Hey, are you blinking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. I don't know."
Do your parents go with you when you do gigs? Do they stay there to support you?
Yes, they stay there the entire time to support me. And my mom was like, "I'm never not letting you go to a gig without me." And I was like, "I'm happy with that. Like, I'm good with that. Always got to have someone there to be my biggest supporter and also, just make sure nothing goes wrong."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lola, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. And we will definitely put all the links to all your stuff below this. But I wanted to thank you again because you are totally awesome. I love your videos. I don't know you personally, but I love the videos and everything that I've seen. And I'm just hoping so much success for you in the future. So where do you think you're going to go next? Or I guess I'm just trying to kind of think of a way for you to tell me more about your direction and your goals. I asked you about that earlier, but still, I mean, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, first I want to say thank you so much for having me. It's like so much. Like I appreciate it so much. I'm like stuttering over my words. I really appreciate it. I love doing these things. So of course I love doing this. And so also with your question, I think around in 10 years, I'm hopefully going to be touring by then and maybe going around countries, maybe, hopefully, maybe ACL, not sure. But I'm hoping in 10 years I'll be at like ACL. I'll have a decent amount of supporters. I'll be able to support myself with my music career and just, live happily with music, be able to, put out more songs, have more experiences, have more to write about. Yeah, I'm so excited for the future and I'm hoping it, goes in my favor. But I'd say in 10 years I'm probably going to be maybe hopefully at ACL and maybe at like, Stevie Nicks level
Yeah,
over life.
that would be awesome. Okay,
Yes.
Lola Kinsey is my guest, and again, if you enjoyed these programs, please consider subscribing and following along with all the different shows that we produce here. And we'll have another guest for you next week. Lola Kinsey, make sure you check her out. Make sure that you follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and check out her website. You'll love it. Lola, thank you so much again for being my guest.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I loved it.
All right. We'll see you next time on The J. Michael Show.
Goodbye.